Hey guys, it's me, Zach, here at the Lighthouse. It's kind of echoey in here. And I wanted to talk to you guys today about basketball. And specifically the science behind basketball, because to me, the science is really interesting. And I love to be educated on the things that I love to do. Specifically, I wanted to talk about the free throw. Now, the free throw and its fate seems to be set as soon as the ball leaves the fingertips of the player. Now, there's a few things that are really important in this, and the three that are most important are the backspin, the launch angle, and the speed that the basketball is released at. Now, it might sound weird, but there are some scientists out there that actually wanted to study and look at how the perfect free throw can be made. And they did everything from physics to, well, basically physics. And one thing that they saw was really important was backspin. Now, backspin actually, when we release and the ball spins backwards, it actually allows the ball to hit just a little bit softer on the rim and increases the chances that the ball will go in. Now, how much backspin though? A whole ton or just a little bit? It's hard to say. Well, it's not really that hard to say because what they found out was that you need about 3 hertz of backspin or about 3 rotations. Any more than 3 rotations, it's not super bad, but at some point it gets a little hairy. 3 rotations, 1, 2, 3, is just enough to allow the ball to land softly so you increase your chance of the ball going in. Another thing that's really important is the angle that the ball is released at. And from the science, they found that the best angle, or the angle that requires the least amount of effort, is actually somewhere between 45 degrees and 52 degrees. So this would be straight up, right? About here. Somewhere up here would be about 45 degrees. Now, it's a well-known concept that anything that is launched at 45 degrees given any singular speed, will go the farthest among any other angles. But what they found after watching many free throws is 45 to 52 degrees is the optimal release angle. Let's see if we can do it. Still need a little work. And I think that work's gonna come with the speed. Now, the last and final aspect of the free throw that seems to be really important and the hardest to control is the speed that you shoot the ball. A little too soft and you don't quite make it, and a little too hard and you definitely don't make it. Because it's the hardest to control, the only tips that they really have for this one is to practice, and that's what the pros say. They also recommend that you use a whole body motion all the way through. When you practice that whole body motion, you practice it the exact same every single time. Because the more you practice doing the same thing every single time, the better the chances are that you're going to make the shot. And so I already talked to you guys about the physics of kind of how the free throw works. But I wanted to call in the Lighthouse expert here, Matt, to tell you about some aspects of the free throw that he thinks are really important.
So the first thing I want to talk about is the mental and psychological aspect of a free throw. In my opinion, it's one of the most important things. A lot of people walk up to the free throw line, especially in a high pressure situation, and we've all seen it, and you're thinking, please don't miss, please don't miss, please don't miss. But if the only thing going through your head is the word miss, what's going to happen is a self-fulfilled prophecy. You're going to walk up there, and because you're thinking about not missing, you actually will miss. You have to go up to the free throw line confidently, and you have to picture it in your mind going through the basket before you shoot the ball. If you go up there worrying about missing, thinking you might miss, you probably will.
And so one thing that I heard a lot of basketball players do is they actually take mental shots before they actually get the ball from the ref. Do you feel like that's something you do as well?
For me, no, and this will lead into our next point, because what is important also with the psychological aspect is being consistent. If you do the same thing every time, psychologically you'll get more comfortable with those same exact motions, and even if it's a high pressure situation, because you do it so often the same way, that muscle memory, that repetition will take over, and it'll be a lot easier for you to overcome your mental barriers.
And so what are some things that you do to keep yourself consistent when you come up to shoot a free throw?
Well, that's a great question, Zach. So first, I set my feet. To me, when I set up for a free throw, it starts from the bottom and everything else works up. So I put my right foot right in the center line, lined up with the basket. My left foot is about shoulder width apart, slightly behind my right foot. Some of you that's ever taken shooting classes and done shooting camps, you'll hear coaches say that if you're a right-handed shooter, that left foot can go slightly behind your right. Then it's the knees. I bend my knees before I do anything else. Then I go through my rhythm. Everyone has a different one. For me, it's just 1, 2, spin. Some people go around the back, some people wipe their face, some people do interesting things. Usually everyone's got a different little setup for their free throw. For me, it's dribble, spin. Once again, I bend my knees before I even go into that. Dribble, spin. That kind of gets me ready, it gets me comfortable, it gets my mind comfortable to make this free throw.
And so Matt, after you've done that, what other important things are there to ensure that you make the best shot possible?
The process of kind of going from where I was with the ready position, and it starts from the feet, and it's slowly bringing the ball up, and as you can see, I'm on my tiptoes right now. So you go from the bent knees, slowly up to the extended legs, tiptoes, and your release. As Zach has already mentioned some facts about the release.
Yeah, one of the things that we talked about in the physics of it is that it's a whole body motion, which you just described, which is really awesome.
It's like putting all these different pieces, whether it's the feet, the knees, the arms, it's putting that all together into one fluid motion.
Love it. Well, do you want to see if you can make a shot?
Might as well give it a shot. Bend my knees, go through my routine. There you go.
So what does this mean for the player that is out there trying to improve their shot, or in specific, their free throw? Well, we learned a lot of things from both our expert and from the science that I think we can take here. The first thing that our expert said before we even walk up to the basket is the mental game. You have to be able to walk up to the line with a clear mind. And if you don't, the chances of you making a shot are much, much lower. The second thing that was really important from our expert was the lineup. And we want to make sure that no matter what our rhythm is, right, that our feet, our arms are lined up with the basket to give ourselves the best shot at making the free throw. The last part is about consistency. And the science can really tell us about 3 things that can make us really, really consistent. The first thing is that we want to make sure that we're launching the ball at a fairly high angle, anywhere from 45 to 52 degrees. Next, we want to be able to put just a little bit of spin on the ball to give it that touch that it needs to land softly in the basket. And lastly, we want to make sure that we're using a full body motion all the way up until the release. That's it. Go get it, guys.